a pain in the ass relationship?
I've had one from the start, but as it got further down the road, it stopped.
Okay.
I put my foot down. I mean, it's like I always gave them the option they can leave or you know be obedient, and not be obedient as far as sit and lay and run. It's just not being troublesome.
Hmm, okay. Um, I'm glad you said what you said because you actually nipped it in the bud the first time about like what to do about that. And it's it now if the person is worth it, you keep trying, right? But everything has its limit, and you can keep trying to work it out, work it out, work it out. That's fine, but you also have to be level with yourself and say, hey, how far am I going to go with this? Let's start off with Pokey Soup. Have you ever been in a pain in the ass relationship?
Sure.
Okay, tell us about it.
Which one?
Any of them?
I think that any relationship that you're in can be a pain in the ass. And it all what matters is how you work to resolve those problems. Whether it be the man or the woman that's having the issue, the problems need to be either it's like you said, if the person's worth it, you keep trying, and if they're not worth it, you stop.
Okay, where's your
And
limit? No, go ahead. No, I'm sorry.
every relationship that I've been in has always had a certain amount of being a pain in my ass.
Okay. Have you ever thought that you were a pain in the ass to them as well?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, that's great that you're being accountable in reference to this because a lot of women won't be accountable. So, um, now, Miss Leslie, oh, she disappeared. Okay, so I think Shimmy's working with a customer, so I'll ask him in a minute. What is your limits? What is your limits, Pokey Sue?
I don't really think I uh, have any limits. If the person is worth it, I'm going to continue to work. I can work through anything. I can work through um, dishonesty. If the honesty comes around, I can work through um, cheating. If the cheating stops, I can work through anything except for being abused. Can't work through that.
Okay, when you
Because,
speak on abuse, are you speaking what type of abuse?
like physical abuse, like domestic abuse, and even some forms of mental abuse can be detrimental to you as well. So that's where my boundaries are. When it becomes abuse, I'm not trying anymore. If I love that person enough to stay with that person and be with that person over a great amount of time, I'm not leaving under any circumstances. I'm a very loyal person, and I'm going to remain there, and I'm going to continue to work, and I'm going to continue to try. Uh, and if that person is not on the same level of trying and on the same level of wanting our relationship that I'm on, then that'll be up to them to put a stop to it. Not me. I know what I'm in for.
Okay. Well, I like how you presented yourself, and that sounds very reasonable and very mature. Because a lot of people would be quick to just drop it and go.
Yeah, most people think the grass is greener on the other side, but you need to water your grass where you're at.
Right. And I do agree with that. Um, Miss Christina said financial abuse. Um, Hold on one second.
They can't financially abuse you if they don't let them.
That's very true. Hold on one second. Let me try to get this. Okay. So, hello, Miss Leslie. Thank you for joining us. Um, so have you ever been in a pain in the ass relationship, Miss Leslie? Oh, we can't hear you. Log out and log back in. Shout out to Miss Goldie in the building. Hello, Miss Goldie. Thank you for joining us. So Shimmy,
Yeah.
uh, what would be, you know, what would be your limits in the pain in the ass relationship that will make it, that you would say, you know what, enough is enough. Give me three things that you would go by as far as cutting it short.
First of all, it wouldn't make it to a relationship if I start feeling some tingling.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean it's like a pain in the butt with a relationship. When it starts being a pain in the butt, it's over. It's just not official yet. It's over. It's no turning back.
Let me
Either you
ask
like somebody and you make those concessions and sacrifices, or you don't.
let me ask you this. Shouts out to Sydney in the building. Good to see you, Sid. Um, okay, I understand fully what you just said. I did. But also, and I'm glad you said that as well. But let me just tell me three things that will solidify that it's just you're done. You ain't fooling with it again.
Lack of respect, over talking, not
Me,
listening, and of course uh the the disrespect. And that disrespect comes in all forms. It can be flirting with somebody while right in front of you, um, talking about how inept you are, how incompetent, how insufficient you are, as far as your wallet, as far as your income, as far as your what shortcomings you have. Anytime somebody brings up something that they know you may not like, they throw it in your face. It's over. It's over. Me and my ex, we had arguments, but we never got there where we tried to hurt each other because we knew that when we woke up the next day that it was a new day. We never went there.
let's take it here. A pain in the ass relationship refers to a romantic or a friend or two people that is consistently frustrating, demanding, or stressful, causing significant annoyance and negative emotions for one or both partners, making the relationship feel more like a burden than a source of joy. Key characters of a pain in the ass relationship. Have you ever been a burden to somebody, or have they ever said that, or have somebody ever been a burden to you?
Well, I've had a lot of burdens, but I don't feel like I don't think I've ever really been a burden because I was always the one out doing the hustling, doing the trying to fix everything, trying to make the relationship work, trying to make the ends meet, trying to take care of the kids, trying to, so I don't ever think I was necessarily a burden. But I have had burden, like my ex husband was definitely a burden. You know what I'm saying? Um, I think in my last relationship, he viewed me as a burden, but I wasn't necessarily a burden. I think that was something he tried to flip on me, like I was a burden to him. But in reality, I was leveling him up.
Well, you know what that is. That's the classic case of gaslighting. And if you were doing for him more than he was doing for you,
Way more.
that's gaslighting.
And he still had his ex-wife on the side. So that's um that's the relationship where and I can this is a story I can get into with you guys, but Here's a way you can deduce that and how it ended with him and I was he had left and moved in with his ex-wife, and we were married, and so he was living with his ex-wife and seeing me on the side. So he was running around on his ex-wife with his wife.
Well, actually, if you was his wife, you had the seniority. Let me say that.
Right.
So,
She had him longer than I did. He was living with
but,
her.
but that don't matter. All that goes out the door when you become wife.
Well, whatever. Well, he was still running around on his ex-wife with his wife.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. When that was happening, how long did that happen?
When he first left, we pretty much stayed away from each other for quite a while, and then I would say for about a year and a half, almost about a year and a half, we saw each other pretty much on a weekly or daily, sometimes on a daily basis until he moved off, and then on a weekly basis. And that went on probably for about a year and a half till anyway. I won't get into what happened, but anyway, I finally had enough and just put it into it. But that was a whole issue of him. I'm just here with her because she's mentally ill and she's mentally unstable and she's in the hospital and she's going to kill herself. And I feel like what was it he used to say? He was emotional hostage to her and. Da, 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 da. I'm coming home though. Keep my bed warm. I'm coming home. I'm kind of bitch. Wasn't coming nowhere.
Mhm.
Well,
So,
except for every woman he could find.
did you find any insecurities in that guy?
Him being insecure. I personally think that any man that is out there topping the top of anything he could get on, which is what he does, um, has some insecurities. Has a lot of insecurity. That's their validation. It's kind of like a woman on the internet, being all sexy in front of the pictures and the cameras and the all that stuff. And because they get guys that come on there and they hit like, hit like, hit like, hit like. Well, every woman he could get to sleep with him was just like a like button for him. That's validation.
Amen.
So, when he was doing that and you found out, how long were you dealing with it after you found out?
Oh, when I found out what was really going on, I ended it immediately. When I was aware of all of the lies and found the truth, because everything done in the dark comes to light, and it did. It took it a little while, but it came to light in a major fashion. So, and once it came to light, I haven't. That was in I think December of 20,
Hmm.
and I think I've talked to him once since then.
Okay. Now, did you, by chance, did your life feel like it had gotten better?
Oh, my life was way better when he was gone.
Now, Miss Christina, you
Mhm.
you said you had a pain in the ass relationship. Give us one.
I'm dealing with one right now with the baby's daddy.
What
Mhm.
what makes it a pain in the ass?
Every time I talk to him, like he doesn't want to talk about the baby. He wants to talk about everything else but the baby. I'm like, I don't even want to talk to you. So
So, are you still you guys are still communicating in reference to the
yeah,
baby?
yeah. But he don't like talking about it.
What is he talking about?
Just nothing really. Oh, I'm at work or just nothing that's really important, I guess.
So you'll say something about the baby and he'll just brush you off.
Basically, yeah.
Mm.
Well,
How
I
about
will be honest. He has 8 other children, so that I understand why he don't want to talk about another child, but
Bruh.
God No.
Dang.
Shout out to Lil Gotcha Life in the building. Good to see you, family. If you want to come in, just let us know. He said, "What in the world is the topic of this show?" The topic is in an ass relationship, but on this show we have topics that go over topics that run into topics, and we have topics. So you know how we do. Um, and my thing is, Miss Christina. So what did if he already had 8 kids, right? If he had 8 kids, how?
But I didn't know that till after I told him I was pregnant. And he goes, I don't want no more kids. I already have 8 other kids. I'm like, how did I know? You never told me. Like, I'm serious. I'm just being honest.
I mean, that's something you should kind of find out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Um, because that right there, whoo. I mean, do you think like I mean, I ain't trying to dig into the man's what he does. What kind of does he have a good job?
I mean, he's a forklift driver.
Okay. And he has 8 kids.
He might be swinging gold.
Swinging something.
And he's in St. Louis.
No, he's mine.
He's in St.
What
Louis.
you say? Yes.
Okay, let me check something.
Are you checking the child support records?
In St. Louis, Missouri, a forklift driver makes an average of $20 per hour, or 42,202 per year. However, the salary range can vary depending on the experience, education, certification, and additional skills. So, at $20 an hour, all of us here on Street Tactics Media is going to start pitching in to help you with this guy because that's not going to cut it along with his other kids.
Hmm.
And and I feel bad for you, Miss Christina, because you seem to be such a good person. But you know what? Things are going to still go right for you.
Hmm.
Just hang in there. Don't let it bring you down. Shout out to AC Barner. And you remember brother-in-law? I kept getting confused with that. Is that baby sis? Brother-in-law, is that baby sis? That?
No, that might have been my other thing.
Oh, okay. All right. So, hold on one second. I think did I just see Pokey Sue come back on? Okay. So, yeah, Miss Christine, and I, that's something that like most women need to really check out before doing a daggone thing because you're kind of asking for it. But trust and believe, you are a good person, Miss Christina, and it's gonna go right. Just don't change who you are. Don't change who you are, and just keep pushing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah,
Can you hear me
uh,
now?
yes, we can hear you now.
Oh,
But
finally.
it's a delay, but we can hear you. So now where we were, let me get to this other part where it says key characteristics of a pain in the ass relationship. Let's say relationship, constant conflict, frequent arguments, disagreements, and inability to resolve issues constructively. Oh, well, everybody has a good relationship then.
I think everybody's single.
Right,
Well, except for brother-in-law, he ain't single.
right.
Nope,
And
happily married.
see that's a beautiful thing because, like I said before, marriage is beautiful. Especially if you are already married and working at it, and it's a beautiful thing. It's just with me, I honestly don't have nothing to get against marriage, whatever. But I just can't probably do it no more. But we have to go with that old saying, never say never. But on the same note, you just never know. You know what I mean? But I think it's a really good thing. I mean, it was put here so that we can uh, procreate, recreate, you know what I mean? Have kids, keep the earth full, call us men cultivate the earth and everything. So
Creed, you are married. You got a business.
I'm okay. I guess you could say that. Married to my business, huh?
Right.
Okay, okay. I guess you could
And
say
when are
that.
you gonna let me pick your brain about business stuff?
You know what? We're going to do a small business segment. We may do it over the weekend. We may do it over the weekend. So just hang in there because we were supposed to do it that one time, but we didn't get a chance. Now, other characteristics is unrealistic expectations. One partner living excessively high demands or expectations that the other can't can consistently meet. Have you guys ever been with a mate that you were looking for high demands in that mate, but that mate is not meeting those high demands, whether it's the man or the woman?
What if one has high demands and the other one's meeting the high demands, but that ain't making no difference?
Different what? You saying as far as money or marriage or what?
Like if one person has some very high expectations and demands constantly to meet those demands and to meet those high expectations, but it seemingly doesn't make any difference to the person who has all the expectations.
For me, I think I get what you're saying, but let's say this. Me getting in a relationship, you're gonna get me. No fake, no whatever, just me. Now, if I'm one that, you know, looks out or comes through on at the last minute on things, because some dudes don't come through at the last minute on nothing, right? Let's say if that's the case, you get that from me, married or not. I don't have to be married to come through for you. So you as a woman, if you're doing things as a woman, don't stop. Keep remaining to be you. Don't look at
It
it as a tool of
doesn't have anything to do with marriage, though. Really, it's just like what if they're meeting the expectations that you're asking for them to meet? Say Joe Blow down the road has put some pretty high demands upon me and the things that I have to do, and I'm doing those things. And for 3, 4 years, I did them perfectly,
okay.
but nothing changes. And I've not been fake. Like you said, you're gonna get the. I mean, I've been authentic. I've been who I am. But when it doesn't seemingly move, and the person who's making all the demands is not moving forward, not making any concessions, not he's doing, but he's doing things, but he's not moving. Let's just say he's not moving forward in the relationship. Like you can't complain about the things that he does for you. You can't complain because he comes through for you every time. All that, but when the relationship has now hit a standstill, and it's not me who's at the standstill, it would be Joe Blow that I'm in the relationship with is at a standstill, and I'm still meeting all the expectations. Like we had a show here a while back. Well, it's been a couple of years ago, probably, about how the woman comes into the relationship in the interview process.
Mhm.
Well, at what point is the interview process over?
Well, let me ask you a question.
And
What
I ask that
are
question
you?
of everybody else.
Let me do this. Let me do this. I'm gonna ask another woman. I'm gonna ask
Okay.
um Miss Christina. What is she saying to me, Miss Christina?
I mean, I basically like is maybe you saying like the honeymoon phase, Pokey? Is that what you're kind of saying?
I think the honeymoon phase is over after the first 6 months. I'm talking about 4 years down the road when the guy or the woman, whoever it is pushing all the demands out there for the other partner to meet. And the other partner is meeting all of the demands, but the one who's making the demands is not moving forward in the relationship. They're going through all the other motions. Nobody's being fake, but the relationship is at a standstill. It's not continuing to move.
Well, I
Okay.
guess at that point I would just cut it off. Just end it.
Okay. Shouts out to Willie Bars and Cody in the building. Good to see you guys. Yes, indeed. So let me ask you this, Pokey. What are you trying to achieve in that?
I'm not really trying to achieve anything. I just don't think a relationship should ever be at a standstill because it I just don't think a relationship should ever be at a standstill. A relationship should always be evolving. And as long as one partner is meeting the demands of the other partner, the partner who's putting all the demands out there should be trying to at least match that energy. And when I say match that energy, that don't mean throwing some money at them or paying a bill for them or anything like that. It's more to it than that. It's more in depth than just the finances or taking care of somebody or something like that.
So Got the Life said, Pokey, you better hope your mate isn't listening.
Mm. He
What's up,
probably is. I don't care.
What's up, Cuzzy Mo? And we once again got Willie Bars in the building and Cody. We got the whole family in the building. So now
Well,
cuz
if it's at a standstill, does that mean like you should basically end it or just keep on fighting to make it work?
you asking me?
No, I'm asking Pokey.
Okay. I,
Well,
I
I mean, it seems, let's just say that seemingly one person in the relationship is constantly in a struggle to make the relationship work, but the other person don't really care if it works or not.
but
Well, then maybe they want it to end. I mean, I guess.
I'm trying to figure out like what are you like trying to accomplish of what you're saying if the person is working hard in the relationship and the other person isn't or they're at the standstill, that other person must be being his or herself and you are being yourself, but it sounds like you wanting something else out of it. And that's why I'm asking.
There's no growth, I guess.
Yeah, there's no growth, is what I'm saying. And the one who's making all the demands is seemingly slowly but surely backing out.
Mm.